So Lansing Ignite FC was founded on October 25th, 2018. And they were the 9th founding member of USL League One, the 3rd division of soccer in America. The owner was Tom Dixon, who's also the owner of the Lansing Ignite. He was the man who helped build this stadium back in 1996 when the Lansing Ignite first started out as a minor league baseball team. This is also called Cooley Law School Stadium, or known as Jackson Field. It was previously known as Oldsmobile Park. That's what I knew it as when I came up here. I remember I came here like 20 years ago for a baseball game. Their colors were orange and dark blue, and their first game was on March 30th of 2019, in which they beat the Richmond Kickers in City Stadium 3-2. They finished that season 12-6-10, which was 2nd in the league. That year, their top goal scorer was a man by the name of Tumi Moshabane, who scored 10 goals, and he was from South Africa, and he currently plays for the San Diego Loyal. And the highest attended game that year was against Orlando City B on June 22nd, and that was 4,818 people. That's kind of ironic because when I went down to Cincinnati, their 2 highest attended games at the old football stadium they used to play at, Nippert Stadium, both of them were against Orlando City B. So something about Orlando City B really brings out the best in home crowds. Those are pretty cool. So their biggest win that year came against FC Tucson, which was 5-0. Their average attendance for the year was 2,758, which was well short of the expected 4,000 that they needed to operate and to keep running. As far as tournaments go, their one and only appearance in the US Open Cup, they won their first round game against in-state rivals AFC Ann Arbor 2-1. And then they ended up losing in the second round to Indy 11, 1-0. And in the USL playoffs, they lost in the semifinals 1-0 to Greenville Triumph. And citing financial costs and losses, they folded after the season. As you can see, the big Lansing Ignite logo. So this is the 2nd minor league baseball park that we've been to on our soccer travels in America. The first one in Louisville with Louisville City FC, and the second one here with Lansing Ignite, although unfortunately Lansing Ignite is no longer around. So if you're wondering what was the result of Lansing Ignite folding, I want to read a quote to you from the Lansing State Journal. It goes, "A lethal combination killed the Ignite, a league that needed the club to begin play in 2019, an owner who thought it was a fun idea but wasn't driven by the dream of growing soccer in the Lansing area, a general manager who had that dream but no longer had control, and a city that's not quite large enough to support something on the fly." So within that quote, there is 4 parts of it. So USL League 2 actually wanted them to begin play in 2019. The owners of Lansing Ignite wanted to begin play in 2020. We all obviously know what happened in 2020, but you know, that's in hindsight. But they wanted an extra year to prepare for the upcoming season, to promote it throughout the city, but the USL League 2 rushed them and they had to begin playing in 2020. So their owner, Tom Dixon, he talked about the difficulties of running the club. He said that they needed 4,000 people as an average attendance, but they only got 2,700 people per game. For example, on the opening night, he thought that the whole ballpark would be sold out and that there would be 7,000 to 8,000 people here, but instead there was only a couple thousand people here. Nobody knows exactly how much money he lost, but the city of Lansing, for example, they lost $170,000 to $180,000 on Lansing Ignite, and that's not to mention $150,000 in equipment too. So we're talking over $300,000 that just the city lost by itself. And a lot of people say that the stadium was too big for the team and that the expectations were too unreal. It's kind of crazy when you think about it. I did a video in Romeo, Michigan, in a town of 3,700 people, and they've had a professional club for 4 years now, and Lansing, the capital of Michigan, which has a population of 50,000 people, they couldn't support a professional club. Now, hopefully one day they can change that around and get another team here, but yeah, it's kind of crazy how you know, some communities support teams and then some communities don't. Now, could professional soccer work here one day? I don't know. Maybe. We're seeing that minor league soccer can work, or amateur soccer can work with Lansing Common FC and Lansing City football, you know, being around for the last 3 years. So if they've been able to pull it off, hopefully one day professional soccer can thrive in the capital city here. You know, this would be a pretty cool stadium to see a soccer game. You have, you know, the lofts right there. You have these little like benches over there in outfield, and then you have like these little couches right here. This would actually be a really cool place to see a soccer game, even though it is a baseball field. I know a lot of soccer fans don't like that, but it's a pretty cool stadium regardless. So in regards to the quote that I read to you guys a little bit earlier about, you know, the 4 problems with why Lansing Ignite did not work, I want to read to you guys another quote about the owner. You know, the owner actually seemed like a pretty decent guy. He said he set a lot of money off to the side for the club to lose, because he knew that they were going to lose a lot of money in their first year. But let me read you another quote in this article, and it's about the difference between the baseball team and the soccer team. So, quote, "The Lugnuts in 1996 were the city's first minor league team in a brand new ballpark playing in a revitalized area of downtown, and they had more than a year's buildup. The curiosity and buzz was palpable. They were a big deal. The Ignite, in contrast, weren't really the first at anything, other than being in a truly professional soccer league. We already downtown, and we previously had soccer in Lansing United. Still, I too thought it would do better." And that was from the writer of this article.